I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. High. We have 47 inches of cards.
Imagine that, a guy measuring things with ruler to see how big it is.
Sadly enough, this is only half the decks.
Yes, this is it. This is part one, the doors. Don't slam the doors. Hi, we're not playing a game this week, but we do still have all three of us here, and we are going to sort and shuffle, and then Tank is going to learn how to speed up footage so that this doesn't turn into a 2-hour sort.
Oh no, I've got a fast way to speed up footage. I'm just gonna like stop it for like an hour.
Much later.
I still have that.
But okay, the format today is that we're going to sort them into their backs. So the Munchkin Cthulhu backs are like this, the regular Munchkin backs are like this, zombies like these. But some of them have just the regular Munchkin back. We're going to put those all into one stack and sort those again off camera because that is going to be quite laborious. So that's not good TV. But for this, when we banter back and forth and sort all these cards, then that's what we'll do here.
Oh yes, because that's totally good TV.
It will be when he edits it down.
I told you how I'm an edit. I wasn't lying.
And you know, we've been talking about it for a year, like the representative sample that we put on the table here, that it comes from the larger stack. This is the larger stack.
Part one of the larger stack.
If I had more ways of, if I had something more, what's the word, stable, I would try to stack them all up so you could see one large stack.
Are they considered separate?
No, they're the same.
Okay.
They just got lighter over time.
That's why I was asking.
All of my Munchkin cards are first editions. So as they've changed over time, then some of the formatting is a little different, but they are effectively the same. But for the sorting of the ones with the vanilla Munchkin backs is going to be laborious because we'll have to look at the front of them and look at the expansion icon at the bottom. This one has a little helmet on it, which means it's for Munchkin Legends. And I will have, if anybody wants to help me with that when it's off camera, I will have a legend of which expansion icons go with what for future reference.
And me and you'll probably do that later this week.
Yeah, probably.
It's not like I got a life other than mom.
It's not like I got a life. Contemplating taking a stack of them to work with me.
That would not be the weirdest thing you've ever done at that job.
True. Probably wouldn't be the weirdest thing I've done this month at that job.
No shit. Yeah, I got a call last night from the hotel across the street. Hey, you got an altercation in the parking lot, and I think they plowed into a tow truck. Go outside. She is beating the fuck out of her husband with her purse because she's an idiot.
Because she's an idiot. Well, at least we know the rule. Hi, are you stupid? Hold on, let me do something real fast. Yep, that was dumb. You are in fact stupid. You win the booby prize.
She freaked out, started hitting him with her purse, and then he had to come back later for her to look for her cell phone because it was in her purse.
I believe the word is, what do you call that? No! Let me look for my cell phone because I beat you with it. I'm going to go with hell no, woman.
Yeah, I don't even begin to try to understand people anymore. Especially when some people just try and treat me like a pet dog.
Well, you're not a pet dog. You're a minion.
He is a good boy.
Who's a good boy?
I was going to give you a hug later because I felt bad for last week. Now I'm not so sure.
See, and we're going to not be mean to Corey today. We're not being mean to Corey
Try not
today.
to be mean.
We're not playing.
Right, because Corey is one of my best friends in the whole world.
And Corey's actually a really good guy. He's just an asshole and a cutthroat when it comes to the game.
No, I'm not.
About 12 years ago, I called up Corey, and I said, Corey, I need to borrow $1,804. He goes, no, okay. And the man shows up at my door with exactly $1,804. He didn't up it to 1805. He didn't think that I could cover the extra $4, just bring 1,800. No, the man showed up at my door with $1,804.
Did he even ask a question like, why?
I don't think I did.
I think he handed it to me and then said, okay, now what's it for?
Yeah.
That sounds like you too.
It was
Right.
for a car, by the way. My dad called me up and said that the Lumina broke. If you fix it, you can have it. And I said, well, what's broken on it? He goes, the engine. We're putting in a new one. I'm like, okay, that sounds fair. So that was when I got my car, Vlad.
Glad.
By the way, you should not take away from that story that I have that amount of money on me or anywhere
That's
near
why
me
I
at the
said it
time.
was. That's why I said it was like a dozen years ago.
It was when I was going to school.
I had an uncanny ability to call Corey up like the day he got his school money and ask for a large chunk of it for a period of time.
He does pay me back though.
Right. I
You know
have
what?
An
He
excellent
did
credit
that to
rating.
me too. He would always call me up right as I got my school money. Hey, you gonna come pay me that? I need the money today.
He knows his timing.
But that's the thing. I always got my school money late. They kept screwing up on my shit. Oh, we lost your paperwork. Again? This is how many years running?
Oh, good, a treasure. Oh, good, a treasure.
That's one of the benefits of sorting, right?
Yep.
Finding them treasures.
I was like, that doesn't look right. All right.
That doesn't have
supposed to
a
be here.
That doesn't have a door on it. It has a huge pile of swag. That's the weirdest door I've ever seen.
I'm having one of my days. It's a good day.
One of his days, like the days he's tank.
Yeah. It's my day off. I'm not depressed. The only problem I have in life right now is I don't have a dashboard. And I think I know what's wrong. I need
Someone
to go
stole it.
No. Somebody, I'm not going to name names. Excuse me. Decided that while he was, he didn't decide anything. He completely ass out forgot that, for one, he popped the zip tie holding my bumper on again, and I needed to replace it. So I keep a bag of zip ties in my van. And two, that my the gauges and my lights on my dash are going out every once in a while. He just knew he didn't want to drive my van.
I wonder what they're doing when they go out. Going to the club?
Probably. Probably horrible music. Most clubs have that.
Yeah, they see my laptop in concert. House music, as in I'd rather be at my house than listen to this music.
You know, I really one of these days want to go to a concert. What's that place in Lawrence?
The Granada?
Yes. I really want to go there before they finally close the doors on that place. Because that's eventually going to happen.
I was...
it's just too small for most concerts.
I was supposed to go to the Granada once in 1997. I won tickets to a concert, Anthrax, if you're wondering. And when we got there, they didn't have a list with our names on it. I lived in Kansas City at the time, so a friend and I drove all the way out to Lawrence, and we weren't on the list, and we're like, what the hell? So we called the radio station, which has a phone number and everything, and we said, "What the hell?" And we're like, our list didn't get faxed over, and we're super sorry. And so they give us a whole like pile of swag. Like, we can get you tickets to one of the other things out there. Like, I already took off a day and drove out to Lawrence and then drove back, and but I don't think I can take another day off this month. And they're like, "Oh, okay, we'll give you a pile of swag." I'm like, "That's fair." So we got a bunch of like CDs and T-shirts and stuff. It was pretty cool. So all's well that ends well. I still listen to that radio station whenever I can. When the wind blows right, we get it pretty good out here.
Which station was it?
98.9.
Oh yeah. I need to put a new antenna on my van so that I can pick it up.
You're gonna get one of those trucker antennas. It's like 5 feet tall and wrapped in wire.
Yeah, but not anytime soon. That's actually for when I do put a CD in. I grew up traveling the highways a lot. We moved every year or so.
Riding the rails.
So my dad had a CD inside every car we ever owned, and I got to play with it growing up. It's a great way to find out where the hell cops are, so that way you can slow down. Or if you're in Kansas, speed up.
There's cops, outrun them.
No, the cops just don't give a shit half the time. They got better things to worry about. Oh look, there's a speeder. Oh look, there's a meth truck.
A meth truck? I imagine like a 2-ton drum truck with an actual like a gravel-sized pile of meth in it, just glimmering in the sunlight.
That would not be the strangest thing to happen on our highway.
It's just like a truckload of blue sky, like the tarp flies off and it's just raining all over the highway.
Have to swerve to avoid the 8 balls that are being picked up by methods.
I cracked my windshield with what? Meth. You don't do meth? No, I don't. And no, I don't follow trucks closely either.
About, I think it was 6 or 7 years ago, a semi got pulled over, big old tanker truck, and they found something like 4 tons of pot. I'm just like, okay, kudos on the drive, but how the hell did they find out?
4 tons of pot, or as they call it on the street, Willie Nelson's house.
No, Willie's got more. My best friend is actually...
now he doesn't. Oh, now he's out.
My best friend has actually sat down and smoked pot with Willie, and I'm like, so jealous.
Pot is an illegal substance. We do not condone doing such things.
It's only illegal in some states.
Well, federally it's illegal, but they look the other way for some states because it's called the Great Experiment.
It's called money, and those states have it now, which is why they're
right. But they're
at
having trouble banking. Have you heard about this? They can't get bank accounts.
Yeah.
Oh right,
because it's illegal. Because banks cross state lines. Well, 90% of them.
Right.
So there's been this renaissance of little banks that have popped up all over Colorado and Washington and Alaska. That specifically do not bank across state lines.
Wouldn't that just be a credit union?
Well, no, because sometimes they can deal across state lines too.
Yeah, but
they're allowed to.
But
there's actually a different
different states.
There's a different FDIC classification for in-state banks, and it's not credit union.
Okay.
So they had to for the longest time they were paying their employees in cash and all that. They just had safes just crammed full of cash.
And taxes. Oh god, they were paying.
Yeah, they were paying their taxes in cash. They would have to take their money, go to the bank, and get a cashier's check from them, which is okay.
Because they don't have an account.
Right, because that's legalized laundering is what that's called now. But they would
laundering is such a dirty word.
Well played, sir. Well played.
We'll just table that and I'll hit you later. Actually, that means that you only owe me like 697,000 more puns.
Yeah.
I pun because it irritates me. But in a friendly way.
Well, the sad thing is I wasn't even trying. This is how it works when I'm not depressed. Antidepressants make me a little goofy.
Fun way to be.
Well, yeah, because you're supposed to be on them all the time. That's why they're
No,
called
you-
mood stabilizers.
You don't want me to be on my antidepressant all the time.
Then you probably shouldn't be on one at all, right?
No, I should be on one, but I can't. The one they want me on just makes me a fucking bastard. My dad hated my guts when I was on my pills.
Then you're on the wrong pills.
I was on. It was any antidepressant they put me on because it made me an insufferable prick.
Then you're on the wrong pills.
There's lots of pills now, so.
I was a lab rat for most of them. Hello,
There are
foster
lots of-
care kid.
There are lots of pills.
There are lots of pills.
Welcome to Quintiles. Take this bag of drugs and sit over there.
And we'll pay you money.
Maybe. Just make sure you don't have a seizure while you're filling out your paperwork.
I actually thought about doing that. I also thought about going back and working Walmart again for a second job.
You can't do quintiles because they need people that weigh like 170 pounds.
They actually have jobs for guys my size. The problem is I also, used to smoke, so some of those are questionable at best.
Questionable at best.
Well,
I
okay,
believe
it's
that's
testing drugs.
I believe
so
that's
I
on
mean-
their sign. Quintiles. Questionable at best.
When I say I was a lab rat, I was the predecessor to Quintiles. I was in Meningers, and I was a foster child. And then, 9 years of foster care, you get a lot of drugs through your system. Because in Kansas, medicate means taking care of people. I wondered why I was always so angry.
Huh?
I'm wondering where all the X-Men cards are. Nobody has any of them yet.
That's weird. Are they regular backed at all, or?
No, they actually look like this, but it says X-Men at the bottom instead of Marvel.
Oh, well, I may have mixed them in.
Yeah, same here.
I've only gotten like 3 of the Marvel ones, so I know mine are fine.
Yeah, mine are all Marvel.
They all-
Maybe they're just all in the same stack.
Probably
Because
because,
they didn't get to mix in as
like
well.
we do, we put them in the representative sample, so they might be all located like here.
What high school did you go to?
Me?
Yeah, because you're my age.
Mission Valley
Oh, no wonder.
in Estridge, Kansas.
Podunkville.
That's right. Cow Patty High.
When did you move out here from St. Louis?
Whenever I moved in with you and Linda. Or from St. Louis?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Estridge.
Yeah.
From St. Louis, I moved here when I was like 12, I think. And I lived in Montera to start with.
I'm sorry.
It's alright.
But Montera's like Topeka plus 5 minutes.
Right.
Okay, Montera is like Central Park, Topeka, plus 5 minutes. Yes, it's a little bit further out, but it's kind of slummy for the most part.
Slummy.
It was nice when I was there. It was adults.
I mean, it's not bad as far as like crime and shit goes, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me and the whole everything looks the same. Where the fuck am I?
Oh, yeah.
Suburbia.
Suburbia, but like run down because it was opened in the 60s for the airbase, and then the airbase shut down.
Didn't take long.
My dad actually lived out there when he was stationed at the airbase here. He was stationed at Forbes while they were closing it down on a hardship.
It's like when there's traffic on I-70 and you get off, you want to get off on Wanamaker, and then there's this like standstill traffic, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna get off on Danbury Lane, and then you look and you're like, I'm lost.
Where the
I've gone 10 feet.
Can I turn around?
I'd rather drive back up onto the highway the wrong way. Because it is just this little swath of suburbia right in the middle of Topeka. You're like, what the hell is this?
The sad thing is, I actually know how to get out of there, but there's parts of like South Topeka I have no idea.
There's a place in Kansas City called Mission Hills. It's where the swanky people live.
Ooh.
And
driving through there is like driving through a maze.
Yeah, it's like driving through a maze. Sometimes it's like driving through a hedge maze. Sorry, hedge maze owners, people. And you're driving around, you're like, I don't know where I am. I don't know where I was. What's behind me is not where I turned from. I have this theory that I might still be there.
Maybe. If you are, then I am a very elaborate figment of your imagination. Because I really don't think you can imagine somebody this dumb.
Tyler Durden.
So does that mean you're like frozen in the maze right now? Like...
Yeah.
Great, it's Inception in a hedge maze.
I'm thinking,
The Matrix.
no.
What do you know? What do you know?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Urge to kill rises. Did you see The Simpsons this week?
I don't know yet.
Don't even ask me. I haven't watched The Simpsons since I was 12.
Mr. Burns and another rich guy have a bet to see if they can break up Homer and Marge.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
Sounds entertaining, to say the least.
One of the funniest jokes in all of The Simpsons was at the end of that episode. And I don't want to spoil it for you. You just have to watch it.
You know, you'd think that people would stop trying to break them up after, Satan tried to get his soul and found out Marge owns it.
Forbidden donut.
Yes.
Hey, look! An X-Men card!
Hooray!
Holy shit.
This is what they look like.
What was X-Men?
Basically, precisely like the Marvel card, except it says X-Men at the bottom.
Yeah, it has an X in the middle, too, instead of that other symbol.
Oh, okay. The shield symbol in there, too. Oh, okay. Oh, and it says warning, and this one says danger.
So they're not just recycling graphics. They're
warning,
modifying.
Yeah, they're modifying. Yeah. Warning, high-level assets. Danger. Session in progress.
So it's the danger room.
It's the danger room. Yes, that's the danger room.
Well done.
The guy in here that knows the least about comic books.
That's wow. That is a very subtle joke. Kudos, Steve Jackson Games. I'll put it in the bag with the others, but
At this point, you need a truck for all it. So I'm doing research for a diorama I'm doing for a modeling competition. Found something a little bit morbid, but kind of an interesting coincidence. The Yamato from World War II, one of the largest battleships ever built, was sunk by American aircraft. Her home port was completely obliterated by an American aircraft. Her home port was
literally sunk my battleship.
Her home port was Hiroshima.
I love that story, that we were just threatening with an empty quiver at the end of that. They're like we have bombs. They're like, that's fine. We have bombs too. No, we have big bombs. Sure. Holy shit! Like, we'll do it again. There's no way they have more than one of those. We have a whole big box of these, pointing to a big empty box that says full of nuclear bombs.
That's more or less what happened.
That is exactly. They're like, oh god, they have more than one. Surrender quickly.
The sad thing is, it wasn't even. From what I gathered, it wasn't even meant for Japan to surrender because they didn't even know about the first bomb in the capital until after the second bomb hit.
Right, because there was no one left to go tell them about it. Just somebody was like, I saw a big flash of light off in the background. It's a thunderstorm. No. It's the kind of flash that made all the clouds go away.
Made one very big one.
The Russians knew about it before the Japanese did. And they were like, oh shit.
Because they had seismographs that could detect nuclear detonations because they were working on them too.
Yeah, they were like, oh, the U.S. beat us.
And then
hurry, finish.
And then in the 60s they set off the Tsar bomb and were like, why don't we just stop testing nuclear missiles now? And they're like, if you admit we have bigger bomb. You have bigger bomb. Okay.
Sad thing is, that's all starting over. We
Yes.
we invented Moab, and what do? They invent the father of all bombs, which is a massive Blue 86, about the size of an aircraft.
Then we're going to just have to pull rocks out of the sky and launch them towards the ground at incredible speeds. It'll be how I meteored your motherland.
Meteored.
Boom.
And that's the point where I shut off the camera.
Camera scuffle ensues. Camera shuts off. Come back with a black eye. I'm not gonna do anything anymore. I'm not gonna pun anymore.
I don't think I could give you a black eye. You didn't even get one when you fell on yourself. You just got a huge knot on your head.
I did fall on myself.
That was hilarious. I come over here to pick up some cash, and Brendan's just got this huge knot. It looks like somebody walloped him with a Jack Daniels bottle. It was because he fell out of bed.
Effectively what happened. As I was walloped with a Seagram's bottle, one drink at a time.
Yeah, that would do it.
I was just like, what the hell happened to you? Well, I got out of bed and overcompensated. And after that, it was just gravity took over and I couldn't stop myself.
The takeaway from this is never get out of bed.
Life is plain.
I do too.
Nobody ever told us that we're role models.
Yeah.
Oh, we're perfect role models if you want to be a lazy gamer. We're not even the active gamers. LARP for us is sitting in a wheelchair.
LARP for us is sitting around and throwing chops instead of walking around and throwing chops.
Which is ironic because I just sold him a walker, a large walker with a seat on it. For next time we go to cons.
Yeah, that's a convention thing because there's a complete lack of chairs.
Well, that sucks.
There's a shortage of chairs.
And I don't think anybody's going to say anything to Brandon for having a walker because it's Brandon.
Yeah.
Would you want to go up and say something to the guy?
Well, can't imagine anybody else to.
I'll stand up just long enough to beat your ass.
Or,
and then have somewhere to sit down and watch your ass bleed.
Hooray!
Or, he'll sink his cameraman in on you.
Like I said Saturday, sick 'em.
He did that to me! We're sitting at the desk and somebody's fucking around. Some kids fucking around over by the gaming.
They didn't have shoes
area.
on.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Sick 'em. And I go to stand up and I was like, God damn it, did you really just say that? And he looks over and they go back into their room and I was like, oh, thank God. I don't think I could have had any dignity left if I had to actually go complete that order.
Would you bark at them?
Well, that's kind of what I sound like when I have to talk loud.
He's a good boy.
And this is what I'm talking about, people. Worst one is my brother. Because he will actually call me a good boy and pat me on the head and expect me not to like swing at him.
I pat you on the head because you demand head pats sometimes.
That's different. When I demand head pats, I demand head pats. When somebody just comes up and starts patting me on the head and treating me like an obedient dog.
I'll be sitting there petting Dean. Sam doesn't do it as often. Dean does it a lot. He'll be sitting there and I'll be petting him and I'll stop for a second and he'll reach out and like knead my hand, my arm.
Yeah.
Until
just a little bit, like no claws, no nothing, just knead my arm. Like you're not done. I'm like, I'm not done. Like an hour later, I'm like, but I'm a little tired. He's like, nope.
Well, you're on the workout.
But I'm a little tired. All right, have a nap, and then fires and missiles.
I think my phone made a noise.
You think? Mine's on silent, so it's not mine.
Mine is currently playing music.
I thought that was your computer.
TV's off.
I didn't look when I came in.
Haha.
I just kind of stumbled in here. No, I'm not drunk.
My brain is weird. I require the same playlist all the time. So I have the same playlist in several different locations.
I don't even make a playlist because
I have it on my computer, I have it on my phone, and I have it on a portable, on a thumb drive somewhere, so I never lose it.
yeah, I did get that back too.
Yeah.
I had to make sure.
Oh, it's not on that thumb drive.
Oh,
That's the loaner.
that's the loner. That's a hell of a loner. I kind of wanted to swap it out for one of mine that looked identical but was smaller. Because, I can't afford 64 gigs.
And that's when I shot him, Your Honor.
They changed the location of the judge conference.
The judge conference?
Yes, Magic Gathering judge conference.
I thought you were being confirmed. As a judge.
Not a real judge.
You come to judge.
Just a magic judge.
All right.
But you got to show us the Mark Ones.
What?
If you win the first round, you would just have to stand up and yell, "I am the law."
It's not a tournament per se. It's more of a bunch of judges getting together talking about rules and stuff. And like how to behave. And how to handle problem players. Things like that.
Well, you're gonna play, aren't you?
I don't know. Might have some games. Maybe.
Well, if you win.
Talon and I are still. If you're perfectly fine with doing that, Talon and I are willing to go get the other sets for you when they release more than 3 sets at a time.
What are you talking about?
We were gonna play in the tournaments to get the other sets for you and just give you the cards at the end of it when they do release tournaments.
Oh yeah, the pre-releases.
Yeah. We were gonna do that if you were willing to do it.
Oh.
We still are registered DCI. So
Yeah.
It's just neither of us play Magic because it's a money black hole.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And we both have cars that need work.
This most recent time I played, I usually spend the same amount of money every time, so I can usually play when I do it.
Well, those of us that don't have a good job. And, well, I also have miniature games that I like to play. Those cost money, too.
Hobbies, the black sinkhole of cash.
Unfortunately, I have too many hobbies.
Like, oh, I roll a die and punch you in the wallet for D6 damage.
At this point, it's 3D10.
As you get older, it levels up.
Oh, yeah. Because increased difficulty.
Yeah.
My current one, I have $40 sunk into one project so far. And I'm still waiting for some of it to arrive.
$40.
For a 10-inch by 10-inch diorama, that's quite a bit of money.
I made a shoebox diarrhea. You mean diorama? Uh-oh.
These are the people I deal with on a daily.
I live by myself and I work by myself. I have to get social interactions from somewhere.
So he drags his buddies into it, and
or I might turn wacky.
Yeah, like that doesn't happen.
might.
All right,
That's true. God damn it! No, my luck. I'm the one that put all those there.
You know, we could go back into the archives and see. Subcrustal petard. That was you.
Yeah.
Trick arrows.
That was me.
That was you?
Because I stole those from somebody.
Omnicord.
I'm not sure about that one.
Colander, Kid Only. Thin Cakes.
That one wasn't me.
Miskatonic University honorary degree. There's been like 6 of those, so we have no way of knowing.
Watch them all be in there.
No, there are,
shit.
Yeah, there are several of them.
Watch them all be in the door stack.
Yeah. Stupidity Field. The Centibeard. That was you.
That was Corey.
Yeah, that was.
I don't see. What was it? The Centibeard. Centibeard. Oh yeah, because I have a beard now.
Yeah.
No, I have the one where it gave. I had the one where it gave me a +1 if I had a beard. So that was.
No, you had the Santa beard also.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, it was like several games ago. The Deus Ex Machine Gun. Don't remember. And Heart-Shaped Herb.
That was Nick.
Was it?
Yep.
Huh.
Long ago.
Because I had all the berries.
Then we'll have to.
Throw him in jail?
Throw him.
Speaking of which, I need to go see the little shit.
Throw him in jail. We'll have to wave our finger at him after he gets out of the hoo-yow.
You'll have to wait because I think I'm going to pop a couple of his ribs, giving him a hug. Did I ever tell you guys that story?
That you popped someone's ribs?
Yeah, on accident. So it was right after I moved home with my parents. It's like just right before my 20th birthday. I wake up one morning and give my dad this huge hug, and he hears a pop. Okay, he thinks I just popped his back. Nothing unusual. It hurts a little bit. So it hurt him for 3 days until he went in and saw the VA.
And then he punctured a lung.
Turned out I had popped the rib out of the cartilage that held it to the sternum.
Jeez. Oh my.
I felt so fucking horrible, and all my dad could do was laugh.
Which hurt immensely.
Oh god, yes.
They start calling you like Lenny or something?
No.
Did your dad tell you about the rabbits? A plumber's snake.
That was not me. This one was also a Corey one.
Of my grandfather.
I thought you had one that was up your
Nope, I had Jesus fuck.
I don't know that card.
The Woodsman's Axe.
Oh, Jesus fuck, there it is. Woodman's Axe. I believe that was me.
There's a card. If they ever decide to do a religion set, Jesus funk.
Jesus funk. I don't know. All of the religious puns are for clerics, like the holy rollers and the divine intervention.
Just because they heal you doesn't mean you like you.
Yep.
I keep it. Somebody else had pointed it out before on a post that they had mentioned that whenever you play a game that has a set like cleric and a set all this, but you play as these characters, so like Mercy from Overwatch or something like that. That they all, whenever somebody does a fan fiction, they're a submissive character, and so they're like, no, because that's not how a healer would be. The healer is going to be the dominant one in the relationship, and be like, if you don't get your ass over here and protect me, I'm never bringing your ass back to life. Who's got the healing power?
Yeah, just
stay near me.
Oh, I think this time the Phoenix is going to stay down. If you actually watch this, tell us in the comments, what is your favorite set? Or combination thereof.
That'd actually be an interesting thing. Even if it's just a booster.
Or go X-Cop. It's just too funny.
X-Cop is really good.
Let's see what random X-Cop card I look at. Curse stuffed in super fast drying blue glue.
Curse, bad guys wished your armor away.
Oh god.
I really like the steampunk ones.
Shield Wolf.
The steampunk ones are really good. As far as like expansions and boosters and stuff, I gotta go with dragons. Love the dragons.
Is hilarious.
The dragon
so
boosters
princesses.
are awesome. Princesses is awesome. Foo, because some of the item puns are really good. The Foo bar.
The crane style or whatever.
Yeah, crane style and belly. Stomach Foo.
Truck full of ninjas.
That's X-Cop.
Oh, that's X-Cop?
Yep.
Oh.
With a truck of ninjas.
Yeah.
And of course, Star Munchkin for all of the various
Star Wars
and Star Trek jokes.
Puns, yes.
Captain Quirk.
You know, I'm gonna have to say my favorite is a tie between Munchkin Bites and Munchkin Impossible.
Impossible has some good ones in there too.
I think Impossible's more for the
Flemme Fatale. Love that.
The Impossible, I think, is because when we first started getting the Impossible cards into the deck, into the representative sample, and I noticed them, was also about the time that you told me the story about how you made the bookmark for it.
Yes.
And so,
which is a good story. You should go check that out on our page.
Yeah.
Well, we came up with that because we were getting tired of waiting for the next expansion to come out. It's hard to think of a time when there were too few Munchkin sets.
Yeah, now there's, 2 a year on average? Maybe 3?
About 2 a year plus expansions and stuff. But we were getting tired of waiting for the next one, and I thought, hey, spies would be a great one to lampoon, so I made one. I sat at work, and, I took the little card ideas that we had and I actually wrote them down, and I taped them to Uno cards to make an actual regular set of cards. We'll just make a stack for yourself.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get that many. I'm almost done with my stack.
Oh, well then here.
I still haven't gotten any X-Men ones. Anyways, you were saying? You were taking them to work?
Yeah, I took them to work. I taped them to some Uno cards. And I took them home and we play tested them for a while. And after about a month or two, I was fairly confident I was going to email the whole kit and caboodle to Steve Jackson Games, and they made an announcement of Munchkin Impossible. I'm like,
Each to it.
So I just had to go to the card submission page and submit each one that was different than the ones that they had, because we waited for it to come out after that. And we're like, oh, we had this one, we had this one, and we had this one. I wasn't mad about that part, because a lot of the names were the same. The Cold Warrior, a lot of obvious ones. And
Scroll of Secret Door Detection!
Wow, this came with the hell did this come with? These came with the boxes of holding, which I don't have, but I traded for the cards.
You mean there's Munchkin swag that you don't have?
They were just holding boxes.
Oh.
And they were half the size of this one.
Oh yeah.
Which I work at a hotel, so I get I get as many of these as I want.
It's fun, not this for me.
There's one actually over there I can before you leave.
Hey.
And I need to finish buying the variant artworks for the big box. Because the variant artworks look awesome.
The variant artworks are cool. If you're going for variant artwork, get the guest artist editions of the actual games. It's about the same cost, and you get 168 cards worth of alternate art. And you don't have to open them, and they'll be worth more later if you have to sell them.
But I'm kind of curious what the alternate art would look like, so I'd probably end up opening them when we play them.
Hi.
Probably not mix them into the sets or anything.
Hi, Jamie.
So this is the Brandon show today, huh?
The Brandon show.
I don't know, Corey. We still haven't hung up that poster yet.
No. We were gonna
So what happened with the corner of it?
Somebody, I'm not naming names,
Cat.
peed on it.
No, I hope it's Cat then.
I'm going to fix it.
Okay.
At
Do you
least
want the promo separate?
No, if they have doors on
Bags
them.
have the door.
Yeah.
They are very different backs.
Well,
Yeah.
Much cleaner.
that's just because they're newer, mostly.
You wanted the camera, Corey.
Yeah. Hi, camera.
Hi, camera.
So this is why I left it on Brandon, is because Brandon talks.
Oh, I guess that's true.
I have more of a camera presence, I guess.
And a face for radio.
I have a face for radio.
But your mom would probably slap me for that.
I think she's
Not hard,
too.
but... I actually kind of wish my mom was still alive. She'd get a kick out of you. She probably also beat mine and my brother's ass for several times.
The funniest thing that Talon ever said was when he said, he came over and he was talking to you, I was talking to you, he came over and says, "You'll never guess what I found when I was cleaning out Dad's closet." What? Mom!
That was hilarious because Brandon just had this look of what the fuck.
I had the mortified look for a second, and then I just laughed for about a month.
How did you find your mom in the closet? I'm confused.
Ashes.
Oh.
Yeah, my mom was cremated.
Gotcha. So she was just hanging out in the closet?
Yep.
Yeah, like my dad forgot where he put her, and it turns out it was in one of the boxes in the closet. So right now she's hanging out behind the front door watching the living room. God, that poor woman's seen some shit. I need to move her. 4 in the morning, walking around in boxers, eating pizza, painting. And that's mild.
That's the mild stuff. Why do you think I keep my pictures of famous people in the living room? I can never look them in the eye otherwise. Man, when we combine all of these back together again, that's going to be a fun day.
Thank God, yes. Alright. We'll get back to you once we get some more done. I was adjusting the camera.
Hi, welcome back. To be fair, these are the number of treasures we found in the door pile. That's not bad for a year's worth.
No shit. But most of the time you caught them right off the bat. So.
True. But, still.
That's not bad at all.
And we'll see. You see here, like, Munchkin Impossible hasn't had a proper expansion yet. It's had a couple of promos and a couple of cards from the Warehouse 23 boosters. But for the most part, it's unchanged from the original game.
Same with X-Cop.
X-Cop hasn't had a proper expansion yet, but it also hasn't had any promos that I've seen. Nightmare Before Christmas is, that's newish, as is X-Men, so they don't have expansions yet. Marvel put out their expansions very quickly.
That's because the Marvel universe is massive.
Steampunk, no expansions yet on that either. Apocalypse has an expansion and 2 boosters. Adventure Time has an expansion, and I believe there's a second one coming fairly soon. Zombies has had 3 expansions and a dungeon expansion. There's an expansion for Super, 1 for Bites, 2 expansions, a booster, and a couple of promos for Star. Expansion and booster, or expansion and the ship booster, fish and ships. One half expansion, a 52 card expansion for Good Bad. Cthulhu has had 3 small expansions, 1 full expansion, 2 half expansions, and a dungeon expansion. Foo has just had the 1 and a couple of promos. And then we have this bullshit.
All the things.
This is vanilla, all of its boosters, all of its expansions, plus Legends, Conan, let's see. Legends, Conan, Pathfinder, and Oz.
Yeah. We didn't come across Grim Tidings. Is it still in its box?
Oh yeah, and Grim Tidings. Those have the regular backs too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's a dead person behind me.
Dead person.
Very dead person.
We have all 5 of those in here, which we will separate elsewhere.
And I guarantee at least one of those stacks is what the vanilla is going to look like with all its boosters and shit.
Probably about 1 1/3. Probably about that. Is what vanilla has become, the unstoppable juggernaut that is Munchkin. So tune in next week when we will do the treasures in the same way. We'll tell stories back and forth like we do, and we'll hope to see you then. Be sure to like, share, favorite, subscribe, pay it forward, send us money, be excellent to each other, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!